A very good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. In our top stories of today, President Yoweri Museveni has promised to support the family of the Lord's Resistance Army rebel leader Joseph Kony. The president met the family of the LRA leader at State House in Entebbe, led by Brigadier Ali Salongo Kony, who is the son of Joseph Kony. Ali Kony, who came along with his mother, children, and his father's uncle, Kony Tim Thomas, expressed gratitude to President Museveni for welcoming them back home to reunite with their community and said they're ready to become productive citizens. The chief of Pagea Chiefdom, Rot Yusuf Okwanga Adek III, also thanked President Museveni for the current peace prevailing in northern Uganda that has enabled their people to return back home. Rot informed His Excellency Museveni that Joseph Kony, who is now about 62 years old, is weak and unable to fight back, adding that the focus should now be rehabilitating and supporting his family to engage in productive activities like farming. President Museveni promised to help them get land which they can utilize to do agriculture collectively as a family and join the money-income economy. He, however, asked them to understand the concept of a family company, which he said is easier to operate than dividing everything amongst themselves. The president also promised to continue supporting Kony war victims across the country, and the meeting was also attended by the presidential coordinator for Northern Uganda, Mr. Odoch Bosco Lak, among others. Moving on still with the president, he appealed to the BRICS summit members to address the oppression and suffering the human race has gone through ever since the evolution of man in Homo sapiens from low primates. This was in a statement, presented by Vice President Major Jessica Alupo at the BRICS summit that has been going on in South Africa. Now, the president explained that the oppressions that human race has gone through have been in form of nature like diseases, hunger, droughts, floods and earthquakes, and by man in form of slavery, imperialism, aggression, feudalism and dictatorship.
Speaking at the BRICS summit in South Africa, Vice President Jessica Alupo, who delivered President Museveni's speech, that President Museveni was concerned about the different forms of oppressions that human race have gone through since the evolution of man into Homo sapien.
That has been arranged long before. However, these are our brief comments. The human race has been here for 4.5 million years. Ever since man evolved into Homo sapien from lower primates.
Irrespective of the oppressions that man has endured, that are both nature and partisan-based, President Museveni appealed to the summit in his speech to embrace the metamorphosis of these oppressions that man has gone through to better the oppression of nature.
During all that time, man has faced two major oppressions. These are oppression by nature, e.g., disease, hunger, droughts, floods, earthquakes, etc. And oppression by fellow man, e.g., slavery, imperialism, aggression, feudalism, dictatorship, etc.
Speaking on the account of ideological bankruptcy and parasitism, President Museveni said that the advances in human knowledge are more often than not used to reinforce the oppression of man by man.
Unfortunately, on account of ideological bankruptcy and parasitism, these advances in human knowledge are more often than not used to reinforce the oppression of man by man. That was the situation in the invention of the use of iron tools and weapons, the invention of gunpowder, etc.
However, he revealed in his speech that God equipped man with three characteristics that enabled him to find solutions to the two oppressions of nature by fellow men.
In the fight for freedom from oppression of man by fellow men, it is important to remember what the Bible teaches us. In the book of Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, verse 26, it goes as follows.
Bearing the foregoing in mind, President Museveni applauded the relevance of the BRICS effort, describing it a gust of fresh air that after 600 years of slave trade,
the youth are being advised to make the most of government skill development initiatives for the betterment of the country. Uganda faces pressing issues such as youth unemployment, corruption, poverty, among others, often attributed to leadership. To address these concerns and establish a groundwork for effective future leadership, 200 youth leaders from across the country convened during a 3-day National Students and Youth Leaders Empowerment Summit at Grand Global Hotel, Makerere. Operating under the theme Cultivating Patriotic Students and Youth Leaders for National Harmony, Cohesion and Advancement, the summit aims to equip youth leaders with actionable insights through mentoring, empowerment and inspiration. During the summit, Ms. Jen Bareche, represented by Engineer Sharon Kyomugisha, stressed the importance of seeking information and utilizing government programs designed for youth empowerment regardless of education levels. Captain Mike Mukula, NRM Vice Chairperson, Eastern Uganda, urged youth leaders to lead Africa towards self-sufficiency, emphasizing the private sector's role in empowerment and job creation. Senior Presidential Advisor Ruth Kapshabe praised the youth for preparing for the future and encouraged them to persevere regardless of parental status. The summit, orchestrated by the youth, included representatives from various universities and the National Youth Council.
For economic and development summit is best now. If you're not,
the Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Peter Elweru, has cautioned those joining the army not to regard it as a business, but instead a patriotic service. Elweru was officiating at the send-off ceremony of 93 senior officers at the Defence Headquarters in Buea, called retirees to repent of their sins committed during service. Luwama has more on this story.
The retired 93 UPDF senior officers include 17 colonels, 13 lieutenant colonels, and 63 majors, perceived to be among the long-serving officers who have served the force for at least 40 years.
Thank you so much for alerting us early enough. There are no surprises, because the general administrative orders normally come out almost 5 years before one retires. So that one gives us chance really to prepare accordingly.
These have commended government for the opportunity given to serve their country for a remarkable period.
Serves as a constant reminder of the significance of our roles in ensuring a secure and prosperous Uganda, especially as we are joining you as wananchi out of combat, ready to continue creating wealth for ourselves through PDM and other government initiatives, being our beacon.
The force has advised them to represent UPDF in a disciplined manner and engage in government-initiated wealth creation programs for survival.
Ensures force continuity, ushers the retirees to life after or outside military service, and not only got to network with the civilian community, but also be able to invest your retirement package wisely when you are still capable.
Lieutenant General Peter Elweru, the Deputy CDF, urges public to change their perception that serving the army is a lucrative business venture.
We never joined the army as a job. We joined it as a calling. Today, most of the people join the army as a job, and that's where we're getting it wrong. Because the army has never been a job. It is a service to the people. It's a sacrifice.
Elweru appealed to the retirees to reflect on their past and repent where necessary for life continuity.
It is time for you to prepare to serve yourself.
if you still have the energy, don't waste that energy for any other thing. Waste that energy to prepare yourself for the final destiny. And that final destiny is the grave. There is nothing more than that. During our service, you might have stepped on many people. Maybe you have done so many things. It is time to reflect and repent. Ask for forgiveness. So that as you leave tomorrow, you find that you are set free.
Major Richard Kidega is among the retirees and has spent the recent 5 years preparing for retirement and has established a poultry business.
So in 2019, I was transferred near my home in Gulu. From there, I started preparing myself, preparing the family members that I'm going out in 2023-24 financial year. So we constructed our house, we completed, we bought some few acres of land. We started rearing birds, majorly chicken. And that is the business I've started. And that's where my fallback. I think life will not be difficult at all.
The send-off of these officers follows the President approval of the retirement of 110 general officers, where 99 are senior officers from the rank of Major to Colonel and 11 generals. General send-off is slated for 31st of August 2023. Abdul Nasili Luwama for UBC.
Well, congratulations to all the retired soldiers. The Minister for Presidency, Babidi Emili Babalanda, has closed the 5-day Central Region Local Government Leaders Retreat at Changkwanzi. The event attracted opposition leaders who embraced the occasion as a unique opportunity to catalyze socio-economic change.
The retreat served as a platform that brought together leaders from various political affiliations, including opposition figures who actively engaged in discussions aimed at propelling the nation's progress. The Minister for Presidency, Mili Babalanda, extended commendation to the opposition leaders for their enthusiastic involvement and their pivotal role in articulating the needs of their constituencies.
I also note that communities have been empowered with the skills of enterprises, development through the presidential initiative on skilling the girl and boy child, the parity development model, and the youth livelihood program. Government is promoting the PDM and the yoga in order to bring us many Ugandans into the money economy.
Babalanda underscored the indispensability of teamwork in realizing the collective goal of advancing the nation's growth and development.
Comrades, you are not here by mistake. You have made the correct decision expected of you by your voters because they voted you to work with the government in power.
She also emphasized the practical application of ideologies and theories, noting that the true value of knowledge is demonstrated through its tangible implementation. Babalanda stressed the urgency of socio-economic transformation, advocating for change not only on a macro level but also at the individual level, adding that transformation requires both mental and physical shifts.
As government, we have achieved our intention for this retreat. That is to strengthen synergies between central and local government leaders with the intent to quicken momentum for manifesto implementation. We have had the local government leaders come in one place, share the challenges faced in implementation of the manifesto.
The Director, Manifesto Implementation, Willis Bashasha, emphasized the significance of collaboration among leaders from various sectors.
We would also want them to go and continue their mobilization responsibilities so that they are able to bring every citizen within their areas on board, especially on uptaking the government programs, with particular and special interest in the parish development model, which is targeting to remove 39% of our citizens from the subsistence economy.
This inclusive approach brought together senior presidential advisors, mayors, and other governmental dignitaries.
A number of programs are being implemented, among which is the parish development model, the Myoga, among others. As we talk now, we have established that all parishes in the entire country have received 100 million. Each parish has received 100 million for the PDM program.
We've had a chance to be informed about all the government programs as how they are being implemented by different government ministries.
The retreat served as a rallying point for collective efforts and a shift in mindsets aimed at propelling Uganda towards socio-economic transformation. The retreat served as a dynamic platform fostering unity and commitment to the nation's advancement. So that Kaye, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to Windy to see the gorillas.
Then we watched the cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, seriously, Granny.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Stories. The Jane Goodall Institute, in partnership with Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center and conservation entities in Uganda, have launched the Roots and Shoots program. The program seeks to involve mostly the children and communities into conservation of nature and the environment.
The program, which germinated from a modest group of 12 students in Tanzania, underscores the sage counsel of Dr. Jane Goodall, a luminary in the realm of global conservation.
So everywhere you go, you'll find Roots and Shoots. And you know something that Roots and Shoots is learning? It just happens that because we try and put you together, and some of you will become Roots and Shoots leaders, you'll be articulate and passionate, and you may have the opportunity to go and actually meet your counterparts in other countries.
Dr. Gudo believes instilling children with the ethos of sustainable living from a tender age will go a long way in harmonizing livelihoods with ecological harmony.
But Roots and Shoots is about values. Roots and Shoots is about respecting each other and respecting animals and respecting the natural world. You don't have to love someone to respect their views. And if you feel that their views are really wrong, like if they feel it's right to go and kill chimpanzees to sell them to make money, then you've got to try and convince them that that's not a good thing to do.
Conservationists are also banking on the youth as crusaders in the fight against inhuman practices, such as animal poaching, driven by mercenary motives. Dr. James Musinguzi, the Executive Director of Uganda Wildlife Conservation and Education Center, echoes this clarion call, urging residents to embrace their roles as stewards of the environment.
So we need a multiplier effect. We are going to be recruiting many more actors for us to be able to reach a big audience. And we are emphasizing that you don't have to be working in conservation. No. Any field in which you are working, you can make a contribution. You can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be a mechanic, you can be a media person. Every small contribution that you can make towards the fight towards environmental conservation is really welcome, regardless of the field in which we are.
The impact of the Roots and Shoots program has now transcended geographical bounds, spanning an impressive 69 countries, including destinations like South Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, and Western Europe. Marion Awori and Annette Sana, UBC.
In more stories, farmers, trainers and agronomists affiliated to different agricultural associations have undergone comprehensive training in crucial aspects of the Irish potato value chain. The training held at Batuma Community Foundation in Bubade Town Council, Rubande District, is intended to tackle the challenges encountered mainly in potato growing and production. The initiative is in line with the Uganda Potato Value Chain project aimed at transforming potato cultivation.
Farmers from their different associations, including Farm to Table Limited, the Uganda National Seed Potato Growers, Chisoro Potato Growers Union, and Kachwekano Zonal Research and Development Institute, have received professional training. The training was focused on enhancing them with skills of fertilizer utilization, efficient plant production techniques, and water management.
We try to learn, and there's way much behind that, because there's a lot of knowledge that we put in, because we say if we do it that way, it's a better way.
The implementation of the project that began in August 2022 and expected to continue up to 2025 with the primary objective of boosting commercialization of potato farming through local growers. The project is funded by the Netherlands Enterprise Agency through the Sustainable Development Goals Partnership Facility. The other goal of the project is to establish a market-oriented, interlinked, and economically sustainable value chain encompassing both seed and wear potatoes of individual farmers.
Give the agronomist the possibility to get knowledge about growing potatoes. As Dutchmen or as the Netherlands, we are very good in growing potatoes. We know almost everything about it, and that knowledge we very like to share with other countries, so also Uganda.
Timothy Niwomkama, the project manager of Innovating the Uganda Potato Value Chain, emphasized the required outcomes of the project, among which include improved potato seed quality, better market conditions, and an increase in household income at both family and farm levels.
Interventions are usually really focused farmer-centered. We want a farmer to really benefit in the whole value chain.
The key challenge farmers struggle with is mainly unstable market for their potato produce. Alvin Batuma is the executive director of the Batuma Community Foundation.
One, by improving productivity at the farm. Secondly, by being able to get an offtake, produce the potatoes and be able to sell the potatoes at a good market.
Some of the project beneficiaries, including Jean Tukamshaba, Director of Farm to Table, and Emily Bamwesiga, underscore the project's value in addressing various challenges. Approximately 60% of the Irish potatoes originate from the highlands of southwestern Uganda of Kabale, Rubanda, and Chisoro districts, with an estimated annual production of 1 million metric tons. Marion Awori and Job Niwamanya, UBC.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
On the international scene, ours is a world of older adults living longer and doing more in their advanced years. Many politicians are staying in office well past typical retirement ages, with the United States facing two of the country's oldest frontrunners for president. Take a look.
At 90, Cameroon's Paul Biya is the world's oldest leader. This is him at last year's U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit, seemingly confused as an aide tells him the audience is awaiting his speech.
You mean I should speak now? Where?
You can do it sitting down.
Why?
Biya has served as president for 40 years after getting Parliament to extend his term of office and then to eliminate term limits. VOA spoke to Cameroonians and blurred their faces out of safety concerns.
I think that being led by such an old person, he's not aware of the problems that young people are suffering from.
Whether you're 30 or 50 years old, anyone can serve out their term and leave. But when you come and take power as if you were royalty, that's not good.
At 86, Pope Francis doesn't run a country, but he does rule the world's Catholics. Does age matter? From Costa Rica.
I make that exception because he is a religious leader. Maybe with political figures, I would feel uncomfortable.
From Ecuador.
I believe that years bring experience that people can use to serve others.
From Colombia.
Not so much a limit on the ruler, but also a limit on the age of the people who advise them.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, at 84, is the longest-serving leader in the Middle East, serving since 1989. Iranian Americans had this to say about the octogenarian.
In the regime of the Islamic Republic, the problem is not the age of the leader, but the system is the problem.
The world of the 21st century is the world of youth, and with the knowledge that exists today, they are the ones who should do the important things.
In 2024, the United States could elect its oldest president ever. On Election Day, President Joe Biden will be 81, and Donald Trump, the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, will be 78. Both have shown signs of aging. The current president now uses a shorter set of retractable stairs for Air Force One. He also often uses note cards to avoid verbal gaffes.
Everyone feels welcome.
Generation Z includes the country's youngest voters, interviewed on the campus of the University of North Carolina.
When you start getting older, there's a lot of health risks, and you don't want a world leader to just all of a sudden just go down, like heart attack.
It depends on how open-minded a person is.
A study published by Oxford University Press says that older leaders who are, quote, senile can reinforce negative stereotypes about aging. But older leaders can also surprise people by showing they are mentally and physically fit for office. Carolyn Prasuti, VOA News.
Thank you so much for watching UBC Lunchtime News. Do join us again later on at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. for more news coming your way in English. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely afternoon, and you can stay tuned for more programming coming your way.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Introducing the Infinix Note 30 series in partnership with Airtel Uganda, a smartphone where style meets functionality. Take charge of the day with special features like the 108MP triple camera and 68 watts fast charge, and the best part is you can use this phone to charge other phones. You also will enjoy free 3GB from Airtel every month for 3 months on each new device purchased. Dial *100#, select data and devices to get your free data. The Infinix Note 30 series Spark, a connection in partnership with Airtel, a reason to imagine.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.